What's up YouTube and welcome to a playable Kindred deck. Never thought I'd say these two words together, but we do have a brew that makes use of some of the newly buffed cards in this expansion. And the staple, the build around here, of course, is Kindred, now coming down one turn earlier at the cost of 1 HP, of course, but that doesn't matter too often in the very current meta. And Corina Veraza having been buffed to an 8-8 instead of a 6-6, now making her a much better target for Atrocity as a finisher, for example. And the rest of this deck is a classic Shadow Isles Piltover and Zone control deck. This is very reminiscent of Corina Control back in the beta days. Maybe some of you will have nostalgia here. This type of deck hasn't really been playable in a long time, but with the recent buffs and the addition of some other power cards in Burgeoning Sentinel and Buru Sentinel, it feels like it has found a nice niche in the current meta. So basically it's very removal based, right? And all of those removal spells of course synergize with the slay passives from the Sentinel as well as Kindred, allowing us to control the board fairly effectively in the early and mid game. Besides that, for units, we have a split of Elise and Vi. 3 of Vi is just too much in the current meta, too clunky, a bit too slow. And Elise is a great versatile tool that can either go aggressively with a fearsome tag or just generate more blockers with the spiderlings. We also try out minions, and it does feel like a very cute addition to the list because we do need chump blockers that are somewhat mana effective, but we also don't main deck that much draw, so having the minion recreate itself over and over really helps out with that problem. And the other one is we don't want to main deck too many units or too many followers, right? Because Corina Veraza of course benefits from having a higher spell density in the deck. And therefore minions are kind of a sweet way to cheat out multiple chump blockers in one card. Other ideas here would also be stuff like Brute Awakening to spawn a bunch of chump blockers. Another thing that we need to keep in mind is that often we won't have the chance to slay our opponent's units to get the buffs on the Sentinels or especially to get Kindred's mark, but it will be much easier to slay our own units. And minions as well as the spiderlings from Elise or Vilefeast are the perfect target for those. We don't mind sacrificing them with cards like Glimpse Beyond, sometimes even Vilefeasting our own unit. Thermo Beam or Mystic Shot can be used as well, and that can be very useful in a couple of matchups. For example, we're playing against a Pantheon deck and they only have a Wounded White Flame on their side of the board that has grown to ridiculous numbers, and our only way of removing it is actually having a Kindred on the board and slaying one of our own units. But of course we also have plenty of removal that is just targeted at our opponent's stuff. Key card here is the newly buffed Vengeance, now only at 6 mana, making this card so much more versatile. Especially in the late game, you can now pair Vengeance and Atrocity into the same turn if you have the full 13 mana available. Our finishers here are Commander Ledros, very straightforward, as well as Corina, of course not the most consistent one, but will often flip the state of the board and then allow for us to go for a big swing. Atrocity is also very juicy in this deck because we have a bunch of targets that are going to have a very high attack total. Of course, Ledros himself, Corina herself, Vi work, but Kindred, especially if she flips, can grow to immense numbers. And often even on a card like Buru Sentinel, just pushing 5 damage to the enemy nexus can be quite devastating, especially if you pair it with cards like Mystic Shot or Static Shock. And now here's the big difference to the Corina control list back in the days, because that one always used to just stall and then go for the late game finish. But this one can play at almost any speed. It's a lot more versatile depending on your hand and the matchup. You can go for some very aggressive fearsome pressure, and a lot of decks in the current meta can't handle that well. Like for example Ahri, Kennen, as well as some other Bandle City decks, or basically decks that might play a lot of chump blockers but none of them really have high attack values. So in some games and some matchups we can trade quite effectively in the early game. In the mid game we can sometimes even rush our opponent down, but of course there's always plan B and plan C, which are our late game win conditions. So when you play this deck, just keep in mind what you're currently playing for. Are you trying to rush your opponent down or out-control them? And then you'll also know how to use your cards. Do you just use them offensively, try to remove blockers, or do you need to keep Vengeance for certain threats like a Pantheon, like a White Flame? And if you keep that in the back of your mind, the list is really not that hard to play. And like I said, it does feel like it has found quite a niche in the current meta because it's decent into all of the Ahri Kennen decks that a lot of people still use to climb. It's not too bad into those Iceborne Legacy decks, but most importantly of all, it's very good into the Ahri Kennen counters. And yeah, a large part of the ladder right now consists of either Ahri Kennen or decks like Rumble Draven Burn, Spider Burn, some Nightfall testing going on. anything that can kind of outrace Ahri, Kennen, or deal with the threats effectively. And this Kindred brew is very good into exactly those strategies. The burn-based ones, the very fast ones, as well as fearsomes we can deal with very effectively. By the way, all credits for this decklist specifically go to Sparkling Ice Tea, a fellow tournament caster and content creator who managed to climb the ladder as well with this at a 72% win rate. And I myself also went on quite a bit of a cute win streak, getting very close to finally getting to Masters. And that's even though I felt like I didn't even really play that well. So if you're looking for a control-ish deck to climb the ladder with a bit, or just to try a bunch of the new buffed cards out, I can definitely recommend this one. And I also want to mention, by no means is this list anywhere close to refined. Feel free to change tech choices to your liking. A lot of these cards definitely need some testing still, like Grasp of the Undying, not sure if it's too slow for the current meta. And of course the tech choices will also just depend a lot on which decks you run into a lot. So feel free to experiment around a bit with this deck list, and if you need some inspiration with gameplay examples, I've got you covered.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Okay, 52 something in all ranks. It's not too bad actually. But Master's win rate should be a bit more reliable. There's no way that deck is good. Kindred Diana. Although Diana can surely be annoying. Okay, so ideally we play both Sentinel and Kindred before Mystic Shot. And then we get full value stat buffs on 2 units and Kindred Mark. Or do I check deck win rates? For me it's Mobilitics usually. Okay, we can just tank this.
Sends her blessing.
Opponent can shut down the Slay though by feasting their own units.
Never one
without the other.
Wild. If this goes through, it's about over. Okay. Fleeting Glimpse, but Glimpse is really not what our opponent needs right now. Sure, the music set. We'll find it there. On the second link somewhere. Okay, it's Go Hard, Kindred Diana, Nightfall, Invoke, what? It's a bit on the wild side. Minion OTK? Maybe it is. The infamous Minion OTK. Leave my Kindred alone. Fearsomes just kind of win here though. Wait for Diana maybe? So we kind of just win here, right? Pay Cascade.
Their scent travels on the night air.
How heavy do we go for burn? And then Ledros gets him into Mystic Shot range. Looks good. The other line is just Mystic Shot this, but then we're not maximizing burn to the Nexus. I think now we do it. Third Pyke is... Jesus. One of those games, huh? We can still ride it home though easily with Ledra's Atrocity. Was just a bit of a temporary bummer. That's the catalog card. Man, our opponent's deck is really not good at blocking fearsomes. Guess that's the best box we'll ever get. Okay, so our opponent definitely holds a fleeting pack your bags. Thank goodness our opponent doesn't play the region that can run mini-morph. So Ledros should be somewhat safe, even if he gets hushed, right? The ability still goes through. The Atro still goes for full damage. Okay. We both have mana for both Vengeance and Atro next turn. This is going to be wide. So I guess my opponent's deck is kind of like ours, just with Targon as the second region instead. We threaten lethal first though because of all these fearsomes. Guess our opponent should have played that pack your bags earlier on. So they need to act first and we can react. No, they don't have Atro plus Vengeance anymore. Do I do it now? Maybe just let it go through, play Corina? Should be better. Then I still have Atro Vengeance next round. Corina with a carry! I think it's actually much better the more I think about it.
Like a flower, Zon will bloom.
Now we just need to get an okay roll.
Behold, my masterwork.
Let's go. Oh, it's been a while since this ever happened in any of my games. My magnum opus. Monka TOS. Ooh. It's a pretty good opening hand. Our opponent can't interact too much with Kindred marks. Really good opening hand, actually.
Gently, gently.
Shut down the first Lurk. What role does Vi fill in this list? Just a versatility tool.
It's
Mostly board control, removal and so on. At the same time, she's an atrocity target as well.
Well, I did say I wanted to see the world. Don't you look a sight? Can a spirit fight to the death? Thinking I'll learn soon.
Which is the best deck you ever created? The best deck. I mean, this one's really hard to answer. Like, when is a deck your own? How many tech choices do you need to have? Like, how many unique ones? I guess the, like, closest one to a competitive deck that I could call my own was, Riven Vi combo after Lost Soul came out. That deck actually saw some tournament play. But like the idea has been around before. Ouch. Main deck Bone Skewer and Lurk. My Ash Nox. I mean, I kinda had it from Winding God. I'm not sure if I can call that my own. I did change quite a few tweaks. If that counts, then yeah, it's probably that deck. But like Riven Vi combo was actually insanely strong. Back when Twin Souls was still a challenger. I just let that hit me, right? Don't really have a shortage on HP.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
That's so oddly satisfying. Because it almost never happens. Just Kindred being good.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
She may have caught a glimpse.
But more soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about open attacking. I want a Vengeance next round. I could actually Atro just to remove this. Seems a bit wide though. That's just a very, very, very good Vengeance. Holy smokes. Oh, in this case I should have 5-feasted on the stack as well. Ah, we can also just tank the damage, it's fine. Oh, never mind. And sometimes things just pan out perfectly.
Tribute to the spider god.
How much do we deal on the open attack? You flip, so 5, 9, Atro. Yeah, we need the spider.
One to remember us by.
The hunt begins.
Do we just bop it? There's a little chance we lose to something like Pyke. I guess we don't have to at this point.
What's your hurry?
Do you reckon predict aggro is still viable? That's a really good question. I don't know how good it is against stuff like Iceborne. Sure. Let's try it. GG! Kindred actually coming through with a carry. After Corina came through with a carry. Feels like 2020 again. And this is a matchup I'm curious about. We should be good, right? We play 2 boxes in 2 or 3 ways. Fearsome pressure is real. Might get a bit hard to flip these though. To slay a unit.
Demacia sends its regards.
Fake Plunder and then FTR. I mean, we saw all of our opponent's cards though. It didn't really look like Fake Plunder did it.
Nature does not mourn. I will.
Played Corsair, played Mirai Warden.
Think you're fast? Cute.
Oh, please swing. That might have been too greedy on my end. I'm just trying to bait my opponent into attacking.
Mourn you.
I guess it kinda worked, halfway.
Naga Kabura sends the blessing.
Naga Kabura.
I move forward.
There's always a way.
Alright, we're putting the heat on him. Oh, another representative of Zon. I do think this is one of the coolest card packs though. Just the colorway is so nice and vibrant. Okay, this is a bit scuffed. I think I just go Kindred into Vi. Nothing I really want a Mystic Shot here.
Without the other.
Quietly now.
Pick on someone your own speed.
Maybe it's not Vi. Mystic Shot and Glimpse is more likely to get me some Slay effect. Try to just swing for 10. Homecoming is very good against me anyway. I think I like open attack.
Want to see these moves up close?
It will be done.
Okay, that's pretty good outcome.
Farewell. I live for those who do not.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Interesting.
I'm doing this my way.
Just sacrificing the cannon.
Hide for a moment. Run forever.
Quite the one drop heavy hand. Did I watch the new League cinematic? No, but it's on my watch list. I watched it this evening. I really enjoyed it. Like, I appreciate the League cinematics. Okay, how do we do this? Could try to contest this with Vi. Mystic Shot here.
Don't you look a sight?
Just let this go through, maybe? No, that feels a bit wild.
Don't you look a sight?
If I shoot out the drop that this actually gets marked. It's too good of a recall target though. Instead of shooting the Mourn, I could also shoot Conspirator. Don't really like it though. Am I watching the cinematic on stream? I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to.
The sea is too shallow a grave.
How's the deck going so far? It feels solid.
Now who's got the upper hand?
Definitely feels solid. More fearsome action.
You old child, what do you know of nightmares?
I know if I'm quick enough.
All
to
Riot
fight,
videos and
I'll never have to
music
make them.
are DMCA free. Let's go. Okay, then we can watch it.
Punch it! Eat this!
The hunt begins. By her will. What is patience?
Man, cracking that deck can be really rough and really annoying.
Oh, it's on.
Don't homecoming! Don't do it! If it's a homecoming, I'll replay Kindred, probably glimpse the Sentinel. Just a recall. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Here's our chance.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
Looks like Atro range to me.
Nature does not mourn. I will.
Will our opponent tap under though? That is the real question. Let's go! Let's go! Corina Control is back, baby!
Hunt it down.
With grace and precision.
I am considering as well though if Station Archivist is actually a good tech for this. Awkward mulligan again. Like, Vengeance is a key card against our opponent's might or ambush. Renation 1-off for dragons? I don't think I've seen dragons at all since the patch.
Demacia sends its regards.
Is Darkness better than this deck? Yes. But also much harder to play.
I have the best job.
Could have played this differently.
Watch and learn.
I could have Wild Feasted at the end of last round and beamed the Draven. Glimpse isn't bad here. Thing is, I kind of want to keep Wild Feast to pop Rumble's Spell Shield. That's why I also kept Vengeance, just because I have this combination. Would you buff Vi? At some point she can go back to 5 HP, I guess. Like, champions are just power creeping in general. Okay. Okay, I made it a bit awkward for myself. I guess it's a Valfi's turn. This trade should be good for us, because our opponent can just pull it aside next turn. Okay, I guess that's the plan. Do I think that was a bad opener for our opponent? What, in this game?
Baby, don't fail me now.
Okay, wait, that's wild. Okay, I can let the fearsome hit me, that's fine. Opponent doesn't have mana for anything threatening anymore. I can just play Vi. Wifey's Glimpse Beam is actually kinda good. Cammy abusing mod powers again. What's poppin'? I really like the beam this turn. Save the vengeance for another threat later. What do we want to glimpse? We kill this guy anyway, so we want to glimpse the axe, I suppose. Okay, yeah, our opponent's down to a couple cards in hand. We got some power turns coming up. I think we're very stable for this matchup. 6 mana vengeance, so much better. Yeah. It is a huge difference. It's a good draw.
Hi there, FreshLobster Draven.
I'm Uni, long time no see. Thank you for the 4 months. I kinda gotta pull the Draven. The other targets are too easy to just axe. And runs okay. Whirling Telegraph. They don't get a good Whirling Death though, the Draven still dies. Or they discard their whole hand, in which case we also win. It's fair.
Get back here.
Okay, with the second and vengeance in hand, that's definitely worth a vengeance.
Oh, dancing partner.
I should have done it the other way around. I forgot survival skills is actually a card. People don't play it anymore, really, but still no reason to do it, to not do it the other way around. Survival doesn't stop kill effect. Oh, you're right. Haven't seen it in so long, I forgot how it works. Wait, doesn't it? Oh no, it does say I can't drop below 1 health, right? Okay, Whale is gonna be really good against the Poros. How has the meta been? Not too much new stuff, to be honest. Depends where I play, I suppose. But whenever people are sweating, they still play the same old decks. Ahri Kennen and Ahri Kennen counters. Next balance patch, 2 months, but there's gonna be another release before that.
One girl wrecking crew.
Yeah, sure, let's just take this. Is there a direct counter to Ahri Kennen? That's the reason why Rumble Draven is popular. It's pretty good into both Ahri Kennen and Iceborne Poros. Don't think the recall deck is that busted. I think it's very broken. If you look at matchup charts in Masters tier, it's kind of ridiculous. Are we going to be terrorized by 5/5 elusive Poros for the next 2 months? No, they showed recently that they are willing to hotfix, right? So I assume they're gonna hotfix Iceborne Gauntlet, but I'm not 100% sure. At last.
And that's
Do you think there is something off with LoR's inherent game design so that it is not more popular or more accessible for a wider audience? No. I think the main reason is card games just being a niche genre overall with a very high barrier of entry. Okay, that deck seems familiar. Box for Kindred, maybe Vengeance for Vi? Whole hand looks fine. No, I think Riot was doing very well at trying to make this player friendly. I guess it is fairly complex overall. Is it though? Like compared to other card games? I just think card games in general have such a high barrier of entry that people will indefinitely stay or stick with Hearthstone and Magic for a long time. Because that's like the collections they grew up with. They don't have to read or learn new rules, new cards, new mechanics. Just kind of convenient to stick with your card game. And I mean, on the other hand, another thing to consider is that most card gamers are boomers, right? Because most zoomers don't have the attention span to think for long enough to make great plays, or like to play competitively rather. I don't think we play Kindred. Find offense in that. I mean, that's why I'm saying most zoomers. I just always find it, whenever you look at average age of viewership in strategic games or card games, it keeps increasing and increasing. So this is the one that could get boxed. Don't know if I want a Mystic shot here. No. If our opponent puts something on the stack first, we have the advantage. Because our Buru outgrows. Nice. Yeah, that should be GG. Literally only played Gwent for 5 years. I guess you just get comfortable and other games look different or weird compared to what you're used to. Yeah. I mean, for a lot of casual players, you don't really want to go through the effort of learning a new thing again. That's why none of my friends play the smart girl. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. No, it's a real thing though. Okay, so Glimpse is free. But I would miss out on a potential Slay effect. I could just play Vi, I could just play Kindred and open attack. Vi is probably best. Wait, what? Oh, graphic bug. Of course. Right, that one time the Buru did get hit by the box. I forgot about it. Who designed this deck? Sparkling Ice Tea, the legend. Okay, we just saw a box, so this Kindred is more likely to survive. I also don't want to play this first, in case my opponent plays their own Kindred. What, and more importantly, why is this deck? It's good against a lot of Ahri cannon counters. Okay. Sure. So that means Whale or Static Shock? Or Wild Feast, actually.
Can a spirit fight to the death? Thinking I'll learn soon.
Here comes the punchline.
Okay. Let's trade in Vice, I suppose. Wait, what? Wait, what? I just realized what my opponent did. Okay. I mean, we take those. Waiting for the emote. Oh, there it is. No concede yet. Bit unfortunate for us because we don't have the best finishers in hand yet. Need good cards.
Get back here.
I actually want to replay my Kindred. Wait, isn't this good? Has to be.
An interplay of shadow like dappled sunlight.
Level up progression reset. I don't think Kindred ever levels in this matchup though, not if she's already at 1 HP.
Vi stands for vicious. Come closer. I don't bite.
It's a bit sad we don't get a mark here, but just looks too good. Okay.
So young.
Just FYI, there is a LucasCelest chat. I mean, I have a rough idea where our opponents got the deck from. Doesn't have to mean they're actively watching this stream. So we can still lose to Ledros Atro. And not really though. We go Corina, then open attack, they're forced to Atro first, we got Vengeance.
Shall we, dear one?
I'm ready, little lamb.
Just bop it in, I suppose.
Zon will be mine.
Zon will be mine. I wonder if she's gonna be the antagonist in Season 2. Ooh. Finally Corina doing work. Curse you for coaching Sir Donald. No, I can never win it. Oh no, I didn't even watch the rest. Was it the same grand finals again? I just know you met in the winners finals. Alright, let's look at the bracket. Oh man, unfortunate. But at least you get re-invited over and over and over.
I will not suffer fools.
Got the reset but lost after. GG's though. Took down the mirror.